Hold on to your butts and down some metal, Mistborn fans. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Famed author of the Cosmere, Brandon Sanderson, recently left his writing dungeon long enough to do a public appearance at the New York City Comic-Con recently. After Brandon had recently announced that talks of adaptations of his works were definitely in process, many fans were speculating and hyped that there might be more announcements on that front at the recent Comic-Con. And they were not mistaken, though it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Fans of the Cosmere have wanted to see an adaptation of Brandon Sanderson's novels to the screen for many, many years now, and while nobody wants to judge anything before it's actually out, there's a lot of questionable choices being made on this front. First of all, the most popular speculation on which of his series would be adapted was correct. We are getting a Mistborn movie adaptation on streaming services. The weird choice, however, is that it seems that it's going to be exclusively on VidAngel. While many people, including myself, see that as a slightly odd decision, at least LDS people support each other, right? But it only gets weirder from there, because I was able to grab a couple snapshots of a now taken down IMDb page for this adaptation, and the cast list is just bizarre. Like, I know it's become a popular thing inside nerd communities to really pick apart and analyze and shred cast picks before something even comes out, but this is like next level wild, people. It started off with something that I thought was pretty normal: Zendaya as Vin. Zendaya is a hot commodity in the acting world. She's also kind of young. It may fit with Vin. I don't have a problem with this one necessarily, and casting Harry Styles as Ellen Venture definitely has some romantic appeal to it for people that may be into Harry Styles and his brand of, you know, hotness. I could definitely see Harry working as a sort of Ellen, but it only gets weirder from there. One of my main complaints when it comes to adaptations is that they often reinterpret and reimagine the source material in completely new, unexpected, and often unwanted ways. And that's why when I saw Michael Cera cast as Kelsier, my brain exploded. What the frick sort of interpretation are we going to be seeing of Kelsier where Michael Cera was the choice there? I apologize, my voice is going out. It's only going to continue as I do this video. All I'm saying is, if you imagine the leader of a heist group that may also secretly be a revolutionary, Michael Cera is not the first person that comes to mind. But then again, when you actually look at who's been selected to direct this adaptation, you realize we're going in a completely different direction than we initially thought we might. The director for the project has been announced as Jared Hess. If that name sounds familiar to you, it probably should. We're talking Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, Gentleman Broncos, Masterminds, that dude. Now you sort of get the picture of what we're expecting in this Mistborn adaptation. And to only further complicate matters, if this ends up turning into a film franchise multiverse the way that the books do, there is some interconnectedness with the characters that show up in multiple franchises, and picking a cast member for one of those characters could definitely have long-reaching implications, which is why, listen, I love the dude. He's got an energy that is unprecedented in like every role, but seeing Nicolas Cage as Hoyd listen, I actually kind of like that one. It's kind of great, though we are going to see a much more off-kilter version of Hoyd than I think we're used to seeing. Though when you think about the Cosmere implications of Nick Cage as Hoyd, I'm down for it. Speaking of meme lords, Shia LaBeouf cast as the Lord Ruler is another one I can get behind. Listen, a lot of people like to hate on Shia LaBeouf based on some of the things that are going on in his personal life. I don't think that is something that is wrong. But when it comes to acting, he really does give a strong and passionate performance to every role, similar to Cage, though when you actually listen to actors talk, they think he's a good actor, even if most people seem to hate him. And at least he's playing a villain this time, right? Shia as the Lord Ruler? Thoughts? It's only gonna get crazier from here, so please let me know what you think of this cast list in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more chaos and ridiculous reaction energy from me in the future, please give a thought to subscribing to the channel. If you hit that bell icon, you get a notification whenever I post new videos. And the next choice is where I feel like we are super leaning into the meme energy. Danny DeVito as Hammond is another odd choice, though when you think about Hess as the director, it makes a weird sort of sense. Ham is going to be a very different type of character. He's already got some depth to him, but he plays it off as, listen, I don't freaking know what we're doing anymore. One of my favorite Loki choices that I saw in this cast list, though, and I can't talk about it too much because there might be spoilers coming on, but Taylor Lautner has been cast as Ursur, and if you're familiar with the franchise, I feel like this is a little bit of a redemption arc for Taylor Lautner. He gets another shot, and this one can't possibly end in as much cringe as Twilight, right? Since this clearly seems to be a reimagining of all things in the source material, seeing Rainn Wilson as Marsh really isn't that much of a shock compared to some of the other choices, right? I mean, yeah, the character is normally like this stoic and serious and dark, broody character that has a lot of weight on his shoulders, but also, wasn't Dwight Schrute kind of also that kind of character? Like a dark, brooding character with a lot of weight on his shoulders? Sure, we apply a lot of comedy to the things happening in Dwight's life, but for him, everything was serious. He took everything completely seriously, and to him, nothing was a game. Even if it was a comedy for us, maybe Dwight could pull off Marsh? I don't know. The next choice also seems awful, though when you think about it, with Chris Pratt showing up in every single medium uninvited, whether you like the guy, whether you hate the guy, you have to admit he doesn't always fit every role he seems to be tied to lately. So I guess adding Pratt to the mix as Spook is sort of like, you know, when you're at a party and somebody walks in, you're like, oh, I didn't expect you to be here. Like, I don't hate you, but who invited you? The final sneak peek that we got at the cast was Brandon Sanderson's going to be in the movie. His role was not stated, though he has stated in many interviews that he would like to do Stan Lee style cameos in his own works as adaptations. He's probably just going to be some random guard who dies. And honestly, if he signed off on this chaotic interpretation of one of the most beloved modern fantasy classics of our age, maybe he sort of deserves it. Thanks, Brandon. Once again, please let me know what you think of this cast list in the comments down below. It was shocking for everybody. As I said, the IMDb page that was existing for this movie has been pulled, and I was lucky enough to get a screenshot of it. But for legal reasons, I probably should state potentially that all of this was obviously bullcrap, and this all was sort of based around a conversation that happened in my Discord this morning, which was just cursed Cosmere casting. Like, what if we just picked the worst people for every role in the Cosmere? We talked about it all day today, and it spun in my mind enough I thought I would make a video of it and clickbait the frick out of it. Hopefully you got a laugh. Though, maybe it would work, right? Maybe there could be a comedic take on Mistborn. We won't want it to see it as our first adaptation. I don't know, whatever. I'm sorry, please don't hate me. Nothing that I've said in this video could possibly be worse than that time I was doing a live stream and someone suggested that if Brandon Sanderson died before his series were finished, Christopher Paolini should finish out the Cosmere. No one can hurt you as much as that person hurt me. If for even a brief second you believed what I was saying, please share this video with another Cosmere nerd so you can hurt them too. But I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your dad, but I am your best friend. Goodbye.
No one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep. No one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired. Sleep. No one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep. No one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired.